Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something incredibly important, a topic that is silently impacting millions of us, especially the younger generation. We're going to talk about the trap of modern-day stimuli, from video games and social media to, most significantly, pornography. The insights I'm about to share are synthesized from deep discussions by leading experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford, and Dr. Jordan Peterson. We're going to break this down together into 3 parts. 1. The trap. What is a supernormal stimulus, and why is it so dangerous? 2. The mechanism. How does it actually hack our brains? 3. The escape. How do we take back control? 1. The trap. The rise of the supernormal stimulus. First, we have to understand that our brains evolved over millions of years to survive in a completely different world. A world where food was scarce, information was limited, and rewards, like finding food or connecting with a partner, required a lot of effort. But the modern world has created something new, something our brains were not designed to handle. Scientists call this a supernormal stimulus. Think of it like food. In nature, we have coca leaves, a mild stimulant, but humans refined them into cocaine, an intense, powerful drug. We have fruit, natural sugar, but we created refined sugar, donuts, and soda, super sweet, super appealing. Pornography, high-intensity video games, and the endless scroll on social media. These are junk food for the brain. They are engineered versions of reality, designed to deliver an abnormally high level of stimulation, constant novelty, and require zero effort. Dr. Peterson points out a critical problem, especially with pornography. It trains our brains to be aroused by observation, voyeurism, instead of by participation in a real relationship. Real-life intimacy is complex. It requires connection, communication. It can be awkward and vulnerable. It can never be as perfect or instant as what's engineered on a screen. The consequence is that our brains get desensitized. When we enter a real-world relationship, many find it boring. They feel anxious or experience performance issues because reality can no longer compete with the supernormal stimulus they've grown accustomed to. 2. The mechanism. The dopamine deception. So, how does this stimulus biologically hack our brains? This is the core concept explained by Dr. Huberman. We've all heard of the dopamine hit, as if it's just a pleasure molecule. The truth is far more complex. Imagine your dopamine system has 2 key features. 1. Your baseline. This is the level of dopamine circulating in your brain all day. It dictates your general mood, motivation, and drive to pursue goals. 2. Your peaks. These are the sudden releases of dopamine when you do something you enjoy. Here is the fundamental rule of your brain's reward circuit. The higher the peak you experience, the deeper and longer your baseline will drop immediately afterward. When you do something normal, eat a good meal, exercise, talk to a friend, you get a moderate peak, and your baseline dips only slightly before recovering. But when you engage with a supernormal stimulus, porn, heavy gaming, drugs, your brain releases a massive unnatural peak of dopamine, and the price you pay is that your baseline crashes to the floor. This is the loop of addiction. You feel bored, tired, and empty because your baseline is so low. To feel just normal again, your brain craves another massive peak. You return to the supernormal stimulus, and your baseline crashes even further. What's the final consequence? You no longer feel pleasure. You only feel compulsion. And worse, all the other activities in your life, studying, work, family, healthy hobbies, feel dull and pointless because they can't create a peak high enough to pull you out of your dopamine trough. 3. The escape. Breaking the chains, biologically and psychologically. Now that we understand the mechanism, we can see the path out. This problem must be solved on 2 fronts, the biological and the psychological. A. The biological fix. Resetting your baseline. The good news is that your depleted dopamine baseline can be restored, but it needs time. The solution is a dopamine fast or a dopamine detox. This means you must completely abstain from that specific supernormal stimulus for a set period, for example, 30 days. Dr. Huberman gives a critical warning. The first 2 weeks, approx. 14 days, will feel awful. This is when your baseline is at its lowest. You will feel agitated, bored, and have intense cravings. But if you push through this phase, your brain will begin to self-correct. It will slowly raise your baseline back to its natural, healthy level. After 30 days, you will find that you start to feel joy and motivation from normal, everyday activities again. B. The psychological fix, breaking the wall of shame. Resetting your biology isn't enough, because addiction is reinforced by a powerful psychological chain. Shame. Many people trapped in this loop don't enjoy it anymore. They despise themselves for it. But because of that shame, they hide it. They fight the battle alone, in secret. As addiction expert Ryan Soave states, secrets keep us sick. This shame leads to isolation. Isolation makes the addiction stronger. It also leads to escalation. Because your brain is desensitized, you have to seek out more intense, more novel, or even more shocking content to get the same peak as before, which only adds to the cycle of shame. Therefore, the key to breaking this psychological chain is twofold. You must have the courage to admit, I have a problem and I need help. This is the hardest, but most important, first step. 2. Accountability. You cannot win this fight alone. You must break the secret. Talk to a trusted friend, a therapist, or join a support community, like a 12-step program. The moment you speak it, the shame loses its power, and you have a support system to hold you accountable on your path to recovery. Conclusion. So, what we are facing is not a moral failing or a weakness of character. It is a biological hijacking of our brain's ancient reward system by unnaturally powerful modern stimuli. By understanding this, we can stop judging ourselves and others. Instead, we can start the healing process with a clear, scientific approach. We fast to restore our brain's biology, and we share to break the psychological chains of shame. We can, and we will, reclaim control of our lives from this sophisticated trap. Thank you for listening.